Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here for today's tutorial. In this video, I'll be showing you how I built this stunning, highly interactive portfolio website, designed to be not only beautiful, but also fully responsive, even on mobile. And the best part? I did all of this with no coding experience, using just ChatGPT and Visual Studio Code. But that's not all. One of the most amazing features of this site is its seamless integration with WhatsApp for easy communication. The backend is connected to the owner's WhatsApp, allowing visitors to quickly reach out with a simple click of a button. Throughout the site, I've focused on creating smooth hover effects that make the user experience feel fluid and engaging. From subtle animations to interactive buttons, everything is designed to make the website feel alive and responsive. I also made sure to choose a cohesive theme color across the site, combining warm tones like a rich, vibrant orange and deep blues that complement each other, giving the website a modern and professional look. Stick around as I walk you through the process step by step, showing you how ChatGPT helped me generate the code and design elements, and how you can use this approach to create your own stunning portfolio website. First, we'll begin by instructing ChatGPT on what we want to build. I'll tell ChatGPT that I want to create a professional, AI-powered portfolio website with sections for a landing page, about, projects, skills, and contact. I'll specify that the site should have a responsive HTML, CSS, and JavaScript structure, designed to work seamlessly on both mobile and desktop. For the color scheme, I'll ask for orangered as an accent color for buttons, links, and highlights, and dark blue for text, headings, and the background of certain sections. The layout should be clean and modern, with smooth animations and hover effects. I'll also specify that each section should include visually appealing transitions and subtle effects to engage users without overwhelming them. ChatGPT will then generate the necessary HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code for us. We'll copy each part, starting with the HTML, and paste it into our code editor. For this tutorial, I'm using Visual Studio Code, but any editor you prefer will work the same way. First, we'll create an index.html file for the HTML code, then a style.css file for the CSS code, and finally, a script.js file for the JavaScript. Once we have everything in place, we can use Live Server to preview our work and see how it looks on the web. Our website is looking great so far. The layout is in place, but we still need to add images in the right spots. For example, here in the Hero section, we need to include a background image and a profile picture of Catherine Cole, the owner of this portfolio website. Aside from that, each section is well organized and styled, just as we outlined in our prompt to ChatGPT. Everything has been structured smoothly, with each section arranged to match our original design vision. Next, we'll head back to our code editor to locate where ChatGPT has structured the code to insert our images. We'll focus on the Hero section, where we need to place both the background image with a dark overlay and the profile picture of Catherine. One great thing about the code from ChatGPT is how well it's structured, with helpful comments at each step. These comments make it easy to find where adjustments are needed. Here in the HTML, we can quickly spot the place for the profile picture in the Hero section. Likewise, in the CSS, we can see exactly where to add the background image for that section. For the images, I'll be using another AI tool called Artflow to generate them. Artflow is a text-to-image AI generator with an extensive library of styles and formats, including realistic, cinematic, 3D, cartoon, storyboard, neon, and more. It's a very powerful tool, and thanks to AI, I don't have to spend time searching across the web for the perfect images for the website. For example, if I need the image of a pretty girl in a realistic style, I simply enter that prompt, and Artflow generates it for me automatically. I can get exactly what I need in seconds, no hassle. I just ask ChatGPT for guidance on the best type of image for each section, then enter that prompt into Artflow, and the image is ready to go. It's important to note that Artflow generates images in a 3:2 aspect ratio. Since we want to use the image as a background on our website, we'll need to resize it. We can easily do this with an online tool like Fotor's Image Resizer. Just navigate to their site, upload the image you want to resize, and then enter the target dimensions, in our case, a 16:9 aspect ratio, which is 1920 × 1080. Once the image is resized, we can open it in our computer's picture viewer to confirm the new dimensions. Then, we'll add it to our website's image folder, where we're storing other assets. This makes it simple to access from our code editor and use exactly as we need. Don't worry, all links and prompts used in this tutorial will be provided in the description below so you can easily follow along for your own project. Now, let's return to our code editor and insert the images we generated into the hero section of our code. After that, we'll load the site in Live Server to preview our work. Beautiful. Everything looks well placed, but the profile image appears a bit stretched. To fix this, we'll go back to ChatGPT and specify that the profile picture in the hero section needs to fit perfectly into the circular frame provided. We'll also ask to increase the size of the circle on desktop view to occupy more space, while keeping it the original size on mobile. ChatGPT will generate the necessary code adjustments for us. We'll then copy this updated code and paste it into only the hero section of our website files, focusing on this part for now and avoiding changes to other sections. So, we'll highlight the hero section code in the HTML and CSS files, replace it with the new code, and then preview it in Live Server. Now everything looks beautiful and is ready to go. Even when we preview it on mobile, the design looks great, and the profile picture circle is the perfect size. However, I noticed that we're missing a navigation bar in our hero section. To add one, let's go back to ChatGPT and ask it to create a stylish navigation bar that suits our website for both desktop and mobile views. ChatGPT will provide the necessary code for a responsive and stylish navigation bar, designed to complement our hero section. Once we have the code, we'll simply copy it and paste it into the respective HTML and CSS files in our code editor. Also, keep in mind that since we only requested the code for the navigation bar, ChatGPT will provide just the nav bar code. As expected, the navigation bar code should be placed above the hero section code in both the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files in our code editor. We won't be replacing or removing any code. Instead, we'll simply create some space above the hero section code and paste the navigation bar code there. Once we've made these adjustments, we can load the site in Live Server and preview it to see how the navigation bar looks on our website. The stylish navigation bar looks great. It fits perfectly into the hero section, and what's even better is that ChatGPT used the same color theme we're using on our website, so it matches exactly what we requested. Now, let's move on to the About section. Since our hero section looks perfect, we'll focus on creating a stylish About section. We'll tell ChatGPT to design a layout with a bio on the left and a profile image on the right, using a 2-column layout for desktop and a stacked layout for mobile. The background will have a gradient from dark blue to orangered, with white text and an About Me title in orangered. The profile image will be styled with a unique teardrop shape using border radius for visual appeal. This will give it a sleek and distinctive look. Plus, we'll add a zoom and rotation hover effect to make the profile image interactive and eye-catching. Once ChatGPT generates the code for this, we'll head over to our code editor to replace the existing About section code with the new one. This new design will be responsive, keeping the bio text static for readability, while the profile image adjusts beautifully with the hover effect. Wow! The About section turned out great. The teardrop shape looks perfect, and the zoom effect on hover is fantastic. Now, let's preview it on mobile view. I noticed a slight overflow, but that's perfectly fine. All the code ChatGPT has been providing includes media queries for responsiveness, so I believe the overflow is coming from the other sections we haven't worked on yet. Once we complete those sections, the overflow should be resolved. With that said, let's move on to the next section, the projects section of our website. Next, we move to the projects section. We'll go back to ChatGPT and tell it to create a stylish projects section for our portfolio website, featuring 3 project cards. Each card should have a clean, minimalistic design with light gray or white backgrounds. Inside each card, we'll display the project title and a brief description centered within the card. For the hover effect, when a user hovers over a card, the following should happen. The card size should slightly increase, e.g. scale up to 1.1x. A subtle shadow should appear around the card to create depth. The background color of the card should change to oranged, #FF4500. The text inside the card, title and description, should become bold. The project title should be in dark blue, number 003366, and the description text should be in light gray or white for contrast and readability. We'll display the 3 cards in a horizontal row, ensuring there's space between them, and make sure they are properly aligned. The section will be responsive, with the cards stacking vertically on mobile views and displayed in a grid layout on desktop with proper spacing. The design should be clean and modern, with smooth hover effects for engagement, no animations. ChatGPT will provide us with the necessary code for this, and we'll replace the existing code in the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript files in our code editor. Note, we only replace the code when we're making adjustments to an existing section. For new sections like this one, we simply create space in our code editor by hitting the Enter key to move to a new line and then paste the code. Just like we did for the navigation bar, we'll paste the code in the appropriate place for the projects section. Since we already have some existing code for this section, we'll just focus on adjusting it to match our vision and the design we have in mind. Now, let's go ahead and preview the projects section using Live Server to see how everything looks. The section appears to be mostly in line with what we specified. We have 3 cards displayed in a row, each one featuring a title and a description, along with a subtle shadow effect. When we hover over a card, we can see it slightly increases in size, just as we wanted. But I'm noticing a few things that could be improved to really polish this section. First, the cards are a bit too spaced out from each other. To make the layout look more cohesive with the rest of the website, especially the content above in the About section, it would look better if we brought the cards closer together. I'll also make some adjustments to the height and width of each card, as they're currently a bit small and could use a little more presence on the page. On hover, the background color changes to an oranged shade, but it's coming off a bit too bright or loud for the overall aesthetic we're aiming for. So I'll go back to ChatGPT and request a change to dark blue on hover instead. This will give the section a more refined and cohesive look with the rest of the theme. Additionally, I think it would be nice to add images to each project card, just to make it more visually engaging. And to make the project section even more interactive, we'll add a Visit Project button on hover, which users can click to view each project in detail. So, once I've input the prompt to all of these adjustments in ChatGPT, it will give me updated code with the changes we've requested. I'll replace only the parts of the code relevant to the project section in our code editor, leaving everything else as it is. Once the new code is in place, we'll preview it again in Live Server to make sure everything looks perfect. The section is looking good now. The images have been added, the card dimensions increased, and we also have the Visit Project button showing up on hover as intended. However, there are still a few adjustments we'll need to make. First, the oranged color still appears as the hover background color for the entire card, which we want to switch to dark blue. Instead, we'll use oranged only for the button, giving it a nice pop against the dark background. Additionally, there's still too much space between the cards, causing them to spread too far apart. They aren't aligning well with the About section above, which makes the layout feel a bit disconnected. So, we'll head back to ChatGPT and request these specific changes, swapping out the card's hover color to dark blue, keeping the oranged accent on the button, and bringing the cards closer together for a more cohesive look with the rest of the page. ChatGPT will provide a fresh set of code, which we'll use to replace the current code in our editor. We'll also reinsert our images from the image file, loaded in Live Server, and check out the results to ensure everything aligns perfectly. Everything is shaping up nicely, but it seems our cards are still spaced too far apart from each other. This is a common situation when working with AI tools like ChatGPT. Sometimes they can interpret prompts a bit differently from what we expect. Even with clear instructions, AI-generated code can require a bit of trial and error. To address this, we'll take a more realistic approach in crafting our prompt. Instead of just asking ChatGPT to bring the cards closer, we type in a more conversational prompt this time, something like, "Are you okay, ChatGPT? There's still too much gap between the cards. I told you I don't need the cards to be so far apart. Please make them closer together so they align with the section above and match the website structure." ChatGPT responds in a similar, realistic tone, acknowledging the adjustment. It also provides a set of code to bring the cards together more effectively, reducing the spacing so they'll look more cohesive. We'll go ahead and copy this new code and replace the previous one in the project section within our code editor. Once updated, we can load it in Live Server again to see if this finally achieves the desired layout for our project cards. Wow! Finally, our cards are positioned just as we want, nicely aligned and spaced perfectly. This shows that the conversational, realistic approach to prompting works well. This is a great takeaway for our tutorial, learning how to effectively prompt ChatGPT with advanced, natural-sounding instructions can really help to achieve the exact results you're looking for. It's a reminder to experiment with different approaches to get the most out of ChatGPT. Now, let's add some final touches to give the project section more detail. We'll head back to ChatGPT and ask it to provide a subtitle that we can place just below the title above the cards. This subtitle will give the section a bit more context and polish. After entering the prompt, ChatGPT provides the new set of code, but since we only need the text, we'll just copy the line within the P tag. Back in our code editor, we'll find the H1 tag in the project section and paste the P tag code just below it. Now, we'll preview the result in Live Server to see our updated project section with the new subtitle in place. Great! Now the subtitle has been perfectly placed below the main title, just like we need it. Now let's make one last manual adjustment to the color of the text inside our project cards. Right now, the default color is white, and it's blending a bit too much with the gray background, making it hard to read. To fix this, we're going to change it to the dark blue shade we've been using throughout the website for consistency. First, we'll go to our HTML file and locate the card structure. Inside each card, we should see the card description section where the text is defined. We'll then go into our CSS file, find the styling for this description text, and update the color from white to dark blue. Once we save the changes, we'll load the site in Live Server to preview the results. And beautiful, everything looks just right now, with the text perfectly visible against the background. With this change, our project section is complete and looking cohesive. Now, we're ready to move on to the next section, which will be the skills section. In creating our skills section, we want to add a visually engaging layout that highlights key skills using interactive icons. To do this, we'll instruct ChatGPT to arrange 5 icons representing our primary skills: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and Node.js. We're looking for a clean grid layout that is fully responsive, displaying in a single row with equal spacing on desktop, while stacking into a single column for mobile users to ensure accessibility. To make these icons interactive, we'll add a subtle hover effect. When a user hovers over an icon, it should slightly scale up to about 1.1x, changing to a vibrant orange #FF4500, or another accent color from our theme, creating a dynamic interaction. Additionally, to enhance the tactile feel of these icons, we'll add a light border or shadow effect on hover. For desktop users, clicking an icon will trigger a slight bounce or color change, providing feedback while keeping the interaction smooth and subtle. Spacing and alignment are key, so we'll ensure each icon has consistent padding around it, creating balance and making each skill stand out. Once we input this prompt into ChatGPT, it will provide the necessary HTML and CSS code to bring our skills section to life. We'll go to our code editor, paste in the generated code in the appropriate section of our files, and then load up Live Server to preview the results. After previewing our skills section, we see that it could use a bit more visual appeal. Specifically, adding icons for each skill and a fitting background image would elevate the look and feel of this section. We turn to ChatGPT for advice on the best icons and background image choices. For icons, ChatGPT recommends libraries like Font Awesome and DevIcon, which provide a wide range of professionally designed icons tailored for tech skills. These libraries ensure that each icon is consistent and recognizable, enhancing the user experience. We proceed by first copying the CDN link for Font Awesome, as it's the library we'll use for our skill icons in this tutorial. The CDN link allows us to quickly access Font Awesome's vast library of icons without needing to download additional files. Once we've added the CDN link to the head section of our HTML file, we start inserting each icon into the skills section. For each skill, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and Node.js, we locate the relevant icon class in Font Awesome's library and manually add it to our code, one by one. By doing so, we ensure that each skill is represented with its own unique and recognizable icon. With the icons in place, we can now see that the skills section has more personality, aligning perfectly with the tech theme of our portfolio. To enhance the skills section, we first need to adjust the icon colors and sizes for visibility. Since they're currently white and blending into the background, we'll update their styling in CSS by assigning a dark orange shade to the icons on default and increasing their size to stand out. These updates make the icons much more prominent and cohesive with the color scheme. Next, for the background, we ask ChatGPT for an ideal prompt to use with Artflow. After generating a background image that provides depth without overwhelming the icons, we resize it using Fotor's image resizer tool to make it web-friendly and ensure it aligns well as a background. Once resized, we save it in our project's image folder, then go to our CSS file to apply it as the background of the skills section. With the updated code saved, we launch the website using Live Server, allowing us to see the skills section with its new icons and custom background image. The overall look is now visually appealing, blending colors, icons, and background seamlessly. This approach not only makes the section more engaging but also enhances the professional feel of the entire portfolio. We approach ChatGPT with a specific prompt to place our skill icons in a horizontal row and add a black overlay on the background image for enhanced visibility. ChatGPT responds with updated CSS, including styles for horizontal alignment and the overlay effect. We then copy this updated CSS code and replace the existing styles in our skills section in the code editor. After applying the updated CSS code provided by ChatGPT, we see that while the black overlay is successfully added, the icons remain vertically aligned rather than appearing in a horizontal row. To correct this, we return to ChatGPT and specify that we want the icons arranged horizontally. This follow-up prompt ensures we get the right CSS layout adjustments. ChatGPT then provides updated CSS code with clear instructions on setting the icons in a horizontal layout, likely using a flexbox or grid structure to control the row alignment. We apply this new code in our code editor, replacing the previous version for the skills section. After saving, we preview the changes in Live Server, and the icons now appear in a neat horizontal row as intended. The skills section now has the professional and organized look we were aiming for, with both the horizontal alignment and enhanced background visibility working perfectly. Next, we'll prompt ChatGPT to help us adjust the spacing between the skill icons, as they appear a bit too close together. ChatGPT will provide updated CSS code to create more breathing room between the icons, which we'll copy into our skills section styles in the code editor. After saving the changes, we preview the updated layout in Live Server. The icons now have a balanced spacing, and on hover, they scale up slightly with a refined darker orange shade, giving a nice interactive feel to the section. When we check the view on a mobile screen, everything is perfectly responsive, with icons stacking vertically as intended. With the skills section now polished, we're ready to move on to the final part of our website, the contact section. For the contact section, we'll be creating a form with 3 fields: name, email, and message. To make the user experience more engaging, we'll add a subtle glowing effect to the form fields when they're focused. This will give the form a nice interactive feel. We'll also add a ripple animation to the submit button on hover, which will make it more visually dynamic. And because we want this section to work smoothly on mobile devices, we'll adjust the glow intensity and simplify the hover effect for smaller screens. Once we input the code provided by ChatGPT into our editor, we'll preview it, and wow! The form looks great. It's neatly placed, functional, and fully responsive on mobile. Now, we're going to take our website to the next level by adding some smooth transitions between sections using clip path animations. As the user scrolls, each section will reveal itself from a diagonal angle, creating a cool, dynamic effect that makes the page feel interactive. To make sure the experience is still smooth on mobile, we'll use a simpler slide-in effect instead of the clip path, keeping things performance-friendly while still giving that polished, professional look. We'll get the code from ChatGPT to implement the clip path animation, and then we'll copy and add it to our CSS file. We won't be replacing any existing code here, just adding the animation code on top. Once we've added the code and previewed it in Live Server, we'll see how the clip path animations bring each section of our website to life. As we scroll, each section slowly fades in smoothly, creating a seamless transition that looks amazing. Now, to make our contact form even more interactive, we want to integrate WhatsApp as the backend for the form. Instead of having the user submit the form through email or other methods, we'll let them send their message directly to us via WhatsApp. This is a great way to provide an instant connection for visitors. I'll ask ChatGPT to help us with the integration. As always, ChatGPT responds by giving us the exact code we need to make this happen. The process is straightforward. We need to make some adjustments to the existing form so that when the user clicks submit, they are redirected to WhatsApp with the form's content pre-filled. ChatGPT provides us with the code to replace the form submission process with a WhatsApp link. The WhatsApp link will include the user's name, email, and message in the URL, so when they click submit, the message opens up in WhatsApp ready to be sent. Once we receive the code, we copy it and add it to our project. We only need to adjust the phone number in the URL to match ours, ensuring that when a user clicks submit, the message goes directly to us. After updating the code, we test it in the live server. Now, when users fill out the form and hit submit, they are instantly taken to WhatsApp with all the details filled in, ready to send. It's a seamless and efficient way for visitors to get in touch with us. And that's it. We've successfully integrated WhatsApp into our contact form, making communication easier and more accessible for everyone. Thank you for sticking with me until this point. As you can see, we've successfully built this beautiful website all by ourselves, even without being professional web developers. We've had a lot of help from ChatGPT, and the results speak for themselves. Our portfolio website looks fantastic and super interactive. With the help of ChatGPT, we were able to design a site that's both visually appealing and fully responsive, even on mobile devices. We also integrated an amazing feature, communication via WhatsApp directly through the website's backend, making it super easy for the portfolio owner to connect. I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of how we created the site, and remember, the links to all the prompts I used in this video, including the image prompts and the major section prompts, will be in the description below. You'll also find the links to Artflow and Fotor image resizers, so you can freely practice on your own. See you in the next video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others who might find this useful.